this beautiful feedback.
All right. Yes. Hello, 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 hello. Howdy, 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 hi.
Let's go.
Back again. A long time between drinks.
Check this out, huh? EDIROL. EDIROL.
Of course, I did the V4 and I did the V8. So it only seems fitting that I do the V4EX. EX for extra. Everything that's great about the V4 and everything that's great about the V8 together as one. So unlike the other two, when it starts up, when the V4 and the V8 start up, they flash all their lights. What the fuck? What the fuck?
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
So, one of the things that makes the V4EX so cool and a really like big kind of step up from your regular V4 is that we have not only composite video inputs, but also HDMI inputs, and that they're selectable per input. So on the V4, you had 2 S videos and 4 composite inputs, and then 2 composites and I think 1 S video output. Here, a lot of those S videos have been sacrificed in order to have selectable composite or HDMI per input, except for input 4, which has composite, S video, HDMI, and VGA. And output you get composite, HDMI, and VGA. It's also possible to stream out of the USB port. If you're thinking of doing that, keep in mind this is a pretty old mixer. I didn't have much success on Windows 10 doing that, but I didn't try particularly hard. But it might be one of those things where the drivers don't work with my OS. You know, who knows? But what this means, and maybe you've caught on, is that we can have both composite video feedback and digital HDMI feedback happening at the same time.
What did he say?
Which is a pretty wild thing, and I can't think of too many other mixers, unless you used a couple of converters to convert from composite to HDMI and back to composite. Even then, it would have a cool look, but maybe not quite like this. So later I'm going to show how we can have simultaneous analog and digital feedback at the same time, which is super duper cool. Also, in addition to our new video routing stuff, unlike the V4 and the V8, we've got audio routing. So we get a whole bunch of great stuff we can do here. Everything from our regular RCA inputs to level controls on the audio coming from each of our HDMIs. We've got a great channel follow feature. What's quite cool that I don't feel like I see that often. So we've got volume controls for each of our inputs. Then we've got delays on our audio here. That's cool. So we've got 2 delays, one delay from the RCA and one delay that comes straight out of the mix. So then we've got a master level for the mix. Great. Does it reset when I hold? No, it doesn't reset when I hold it. That's a slight bummer. Then we have a separate level for streaming. One very funny thing. So, of course, we've got output. We can monitor our 4 inputs, output plus input. When you do that, this, the value knob, scales the output. I don't know how to move it around though. That's very weird. And then when I scale it back down, it's in a different position because it got pushed around by hitting the edge of the screen. It's truly bizarre. Truly bizarre. So I don't know what that is all about. Perhaps there is a way to move it around the screen. I don't know what it is though. Let's take a look at, let's zoom out. It's pretty much the same size as the V4 and the V8. It's got a nice tilt in it like the V8 did. If we come around to the back without knocking everything over, which I'm going to try to, but I don't know if I can. Yeah, I'm going to take a look at the back, and it's got a nice flat front, so it'll just stand up by itself for me, which again, very classy. Kingston lock, stop people from stealing your mixer. Mixer thieves. We get a MIDI in and MIDI out / through, which is great because you can MIDI control. If only someone had made a Max for Live device that'll let you MIDI control this mixer. If only someone had done that. I wonder if anyone like me has done that. So we got MIDI in and MIDI out, power, outputs. Like I said, we get our simultaneous composite video, RGB, you know, VGA component-y style stuff, HDMI out, streaming out via USB. I think you can also use the USB as a USB MIDI interface, but again, tried it, couldn't get the drivers to work. I don't know, didn't try very hard. We've got over here 4 HDMI inputs, 4 composite inputs, and like I said, 4 is of course switchable from a couple of different sources here, such as VGA and S-Video. Oh, and of course the audio in there. So enough of that. Let's take this thing and do some fun stuff with it. Let's see. And that. Yes. So now, camera on 1. This camera. Coming in input 1. Input 2 is our analog feedback, and input 4 is our digital feedback. Yeah, so that's with the HDMI feedback and our chroma key, and that's with the analog feedback and the chroma key. So what's quite lovely about this is that when we change, we are of course capturing what was previously on the screen and feeding it back into the other path. So that was a confusing way of saying the digital feedback here. Look at this nice squarey, pixely, cutouty, stroby, flickery stuff. And the analog stuff, ooh, that smooth kind of rolling effect. Exactly what you'd expect from the analog side. It's a beautiful, rolling, glitchy kind of feedback, exactly what you'd hope for. And then on the digital side, we get that beautiful stroby frame effect that slowly starts to corrupt as it feeds back. So what's great about this unit, we get this beautiful feedback from the HDMI. So here I've just moved all the way to channel 4's input. And boy oh boy does that look good. There's also an internal, there's also like a special effects feedback. Called after image. Yeah, here we go, feedback. There we go, feedback. So let's crank up feedback a little bit. It's such a lovely effect. Here is a perfect opportunity to use that menu on the screen I was talking about. Because I don't know what bloody effect I've got on. And that is a major bummer. But here, it's posterized, is it? Well, I don't want posterize. I want invert. So I can just scroll until I find it. Where are you? Come here. Come here. Yep, negative. There we go. Have I got negative? Yep, negative star. Great. So the asterisk means that the control knob will flick between each of them. One thing that's super special about this is it's not just a preview screen, it's also a touch screen, where I can turn on, off and on each of these elements over the top of everything else I see. Let's go through all of the features on the front, and then maybe I'll do a bit more talking about the menu and the zoom in stuff and some more detailed stuff. So 4 inputs. It's a 4 input switcher, as you would expect with the V4 there. T-bar for transitions. What's very classy about this though is you get a red light for what is live. So here I'm going to fade between feedback and not feedback. Whoop and whoop. It's got all the great V4 features like transformers, that let us jump from A bus to B bus. The beautiful smooth T-bar fader. The mix, wipe and EFX. Woo. Woo. And of course, you can apply BPM sync to all of these effects if you so wish. Of course, selecting your buses with the buttons, same as before. Nice bright LEDs though, that
Look a bit better. Again,
so
we've got the same.
let's just jump straight into this beautiful thing. First great thing.
The same.
Check this out.
The same. The same. The same. The same.
So,
The same.
on the V4, you had
The
2F
same.
videos and 4 composite
The
inputs.
same. The same.
Huh? Oh, well, I guess I'm a rabbit now. Cool. Well, anyway, should you get an EDIROL V4? They are very expensive.
What the fuck?
This is in Australian dollars. There's a lot to love about the EDIROL V4 EX. It's got that cool analog digital hybrid feedback. The built-in preview screen is also incredibly cool. Really is kind of the best of both the V4 and the V8 put together with some other cool little extras. So if you think it's going to work with the kind of stuff that you make and it's within your budget, then yeah, I think you should go for it.
Check this out, huh? EDIROL. EDIROL.